All right, I didn't do any editing yesterday, but today I was gonna do it, but I just got this feeling or burst of energy that it's a driving day. Again, I don't feel like editing, so maybe that's just what's going on. Also, it's like 26 degrees. So I have my heating going. I'm gonna finish getting ready. Gotta get gas. I was gonna eat my potatoes, but that's gonna take too long. So I'm just gonna go through Starbucks as usual. I'm just like a creature of comfort, I guess. And I think I'm gonna try to make it to Abilene, Texas, which is like 8 hours. I mean, really, I could just drive all the way to Dallas today, 10 hours. But those 2 hours really do make a difference after you've been driving all day. So I was gonna stop in Midland, and that's about 6 hours. So we'll see. If I feel like too tired at 6 hours, then I'll stop. The whole point is to just make progress on the road when you're on a long journey. Gotta put my sweater on, shoes and socks, and my earrings. I don't mind driving, but I don't really like driving really long days. The most I like to drive is 4 or 5 hours, maybe 6 hours at the most. Anything after that, I just start to get weary and tired, and not even just falling asleep tired, but just body tired. But when I do have to drive long distances, I try to drive when I have the most energy, which is typically for me the first part of the morning. The problem is with Texas is that it's so big that you enter Texas and then you still have a bunch of hours to continue to drive. So it's the state that teaches you the most patience when you're on a long drive. The good news is that the gas prices are still way lower in Texas, and I don't even really mind filling up. Even though there's a lot of barren land, there's a lot of beautiful parts to see. After a while, I did want to stretch my legs and get a snack. I already had guacamole in my van, so I just wanted to run into the store and get some chips. So I spent like $5 on these chips because they're supposed to be locally made, but the first chip tasted a little off and I was hungry, so I just continued to eat the chips. And then I was like, these chips really don't taste that good. And so then I look and the sticker says that they had already expired. I just ate stale chips for lunch. That's great. Then I continued on the road, and it felt so awesome just to be driving towards a beautiful sunset. But after it got dark, I was really ready to be done. So I finally made it to Abilene, Texas. My first time at Jason's Deli. And look at this cutest little pickle. Individually wrapped. And I got, whoa. I got a tuna salad on a croissant. How luxurious. All right, I'm tired. I just drove a billion hours today. So what happened is I laid down around 11 p.m. and as soon as I laid down, my back started to hurt, and immediately I just thought, okay, I've been driving a lot, so my back just feels tense. But the longer I laid there, the intensity got worse and worse. So I took an Aleve. I waited at least 45 minutes and nothing happened. So I took another Aleve. And after another 30 minutes, the pain was still excessive. I stood up and just tried to stretch because I still thought it was my back. And when I stood up, I felt a little bit better. Okay, God, if you want me to go to the hospital, please make it abundantly clear. And as soon as I laid back down, I had a pain shooting down my arm, and I felt like a cold chill run over me. And I was like, yep, that'll do it. And I was extremely not thrilled about this because I was so tired from driving. I didn't get any sleep. I only had to wait about 15 minutes to get in. And the best thing about it is that this hospital in Texas had a sign that recognized Jesus Christ. I was pleasantly surprised. You are not going to believe this one. You're not going to believe this. You're not even ready. I came in for severe back pain that radiated into my ribs and my chest. I started to feel nauseous and lightheaded, so I was not going to take a chance. And they just came in and said I have pneumonia. Where? How? How do I have pneumonia? I haven't had a fever that I know of. I haven't been coughing. Where does the pneumonia come from? Where'd it come from? So now I got a bunch of antibiotics going in me. What? Bacterial pneumonia. How? I guess I live here now at the hospital. I live here now. I don't know. California wants me and hospitals want me. It's just the story of my life right now. I don't know. I just honestly don't know. They give me pain killers, so that's why I feel a lot better now. When I first came in, my back and my ribs hurt so bad. It was like those movies that you see with like the like vines that were like kind of like snakes wrapping around my skeleton and like just like, you know, seizing me up. I was like, if I have a heart attack, I'm going to be pissed. Truly pissed. I'm not even 50 yet. But pneumonia? How? After the doctor told me I had pneumonia, he said they did want to keep me for just a little while longer, just to make sure that all the blood tests came back, that I didn't have any signs of a heart attack. I was tired, but when I left out of the hospital, it was around 20-something degrees, and I had this burst of adrenaline, and I'm like, it's only 3 hours to go. Let me just try to get to my son's house. But after driving about an hour, it was so windy that my van was swaying towards the edge of the road. So I pulled over to a gas station. I slept for about an hour. Then I jumped back on the road, and at that point, it was around 17 degrees, but my weather app said that it felt like -2 degrees, which I can attest that's absolutely true. On the rest of the drive, it continued to be extremely windy. Finally, I made it into Dallas, which gave me some great relief until the directions told me to go into downtown, and I got lost going in circles and loops. I couldn't get out of the downtown area. I don't know what was wrong with the Google Maps, but I just could not get out. But it was kind of cool just to see some of the downtown area. But then finally, I got out of there and made it to my son's house. By the time I got there, I was hungry, and one of my favorite places in Texas is Taco Bueno. Got some mid-morning Mexican food. Wait, no, I gotta get the lid first. Okay, now. And then I told him, I'm going to bed. I feel so tired. I didn't get 1 minute of sleep last night, so we went back to his house, and I just went to sleep.
Yeah, it's probably better that we get up out of here.
It was so cold that night that the next morning I went out to check on my van, and there was an icicle coming out of my faucet again. This same thing happened during the Great Texas Ice Freeze of 2021. Oh, here we go again. Even my hair gel froze. It was so cold, I just ended up staying at my son's house for a few days, which is fine because him and his girlfriend both have dogs, and they're both extremely cute. And this is the first time that I was meeting his girlfriend's dog, which is a Bernedoodle, the cutest fluffy dog ever. And you see how big she is, and she's only 6 months old, and she has quite a personality. And then she discovered herself in the mirror, and this is what happened. The next morning we went to Waffle House, which if you've never been there, please go as soon as possible. It was so delicious. Their waffles are so buttery and fluffy, and they have the best hash browns, covered and smothered. That's with cheese and grilled onions. And then we made gingerbread houses, and that's where the goodness of the story ends, because the next day I found out that my pipes were frozen and cracked open, and I'll show you more about that and the impending pipe burst of 2023 in the next video. Bye for now.